Interview tab. Now there's a process flow involved in going through the interview tab, so I'll talk you through that first and then we'll have a look at it within Moresby Online. So the first point is that profiling takes place and students get access to their results. An interview is scheduled 2+ weeks later, and in the interim students have access to their results and are encouraged to go through, make decisions around favourites, academic levels, etc., and complete the interview tab. You, as a careers consultant, will be able to see their responses prior to the interview, and you do that by clicking on their blue head and having a look at the interview tab, scanning down and seeing what it is they're interested in getting out of the interview with you. The interview then happens, and clearly, because you've looked at their results, you'll be able to integrate their comments and thoughts into the interview. At the end of the interview, you will click a button and the post-interview survey is emailed to the student. This is a survey monkey, so if they have a device, whether it's a phone or a laptop, they can check their email, follow the link and immediately complete the short survey. They're doing that while they're in the room with you. While they're doing that, you're starting to complete the interview notes. Now, they should take 2 or 3 minutes to do their part, they then leave, and you'd have some quiet time to finalise those interview notes and share them with the student. So that's the process. Now I'm going to go and have a look at this from a point of view of Moresby Online, and we're going to work with Isaac here. So Isaac hasn't done anything. He should have gone in and had a look, but he hasn't bothered. We know that because there's a grey box under the interview column. Kirsty has gone in and done something, added some information to the interview tab, and Isaac has entered notes, done it himself, and then the careers advisor has gone in and done something to that, but not yet shared the interview notes with the student. And the final option is there is a green one where notes have been shared. So if we have a look at Isaac now, we go in. What we're hoping is Isaac would have gone in and said things like, actually no, I'm going for a degree, I'm not too bothered about an apprenticeship, I fancy being a PE teacher or a youth worker, or I'm interested in community development. They then would go to options at 16 and say, yep, I fancy a few of these. I'll just randomly take another couple. And then they go to options at 16 and say, yep, social work looks good, teaching young children looks good. And actually, I forgot to say that I actually quite fancy an apprenticeship. So maybe I'll consider sports support and childcare as options, or social care and youth care. So they complete this process. If you haven't done that before the event, as in the case of Isaac, you'll be doing that with them. The objective of the interview is not that you click a load of boxes. The objective of the interview is that you help them take a step forward. But part of that will be reflecting on a range of things here and saying, yep, that feels good, that doesn't feel good, this is what I prefer. You would then, at the end of this, go off to the candidate tab and release the post-interview questions. But for now, just because we're here, I'm going to show you what Isaac should have done. Isaac should have clicked on the interview tab, read some standard information here, then gone to background, perhaps changed that and said, nah, I'm actually only in year 9. Put in some certificates, any personal ambitions they've got. You can see on the left here that all the decisions which were made around subjects and degree areas, etc., have been included in this, they've been registered. So you could then either press save or review. Same thing, I'm going to press save, it takes us over to the review page, where I'm going to say, yep, they were okay, fantastic results, no, in between, yep, alright, anything you'd like to discuss. This is what I want to get out of my interview. Any other careers? Yep, I did think about this. and any factors which might stop me. So Isaac ideally should have done this. Now, if he had, we'll go back to Manager and have a look. If he had, then we'd have seen that he'd prepared his notes. And you would, of course, the night before have gone in, had a look at his notes, so you could include those in the discussion. But for now, interview's finished, Isaac's sitting there in front of you, 30 minutes down, 15 minutes to go. What you do is you click on Interview, and the first thing you do is you send a feedback request. This initiates an email to Isaac's email address with a SurveyMonkey link. He can click on that and do the questions. While he's doing that, you can go through the process of confirming it's you that did the interview and having a look at the notes. The first thing you do is you load the template. Now, the template is a pre-structured computerized report into which anything the student has said in the interview notes has been added, and they're always in hashes. Now, if you want to quickly find those hashes, there are instructions here. So you do Control F. Top right, a little box pops up, and if you press Enter, it'll highlight everywhere the student has made a note. So you may ignore some of these, but you might choose to answer a few of them, as well as including some general text at the start. By now, the student should have finished their SurveyMonkey and have left the room, and it gives you some time to write up the notes. As you write up whatever you want, there's a separate document on that. And what you then do is you would put in today's date and share the notes with the individual. So having done that, and that little pop-up message was saying that because you're releasing the notes, the system is going to remove all the hashes just so it reads better. So having done that, the notes are shared and you can save and exit. And what that means is that that interview has been registered against you with the CAV for payment. End of module.